got to stand up strong. Face the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Strong. Don't give in. Don't back down, and never stop doing what you know is right.
This is a tragedy. And when I think about this boy, I think about my own kids.
uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. It's Monday. We start out a little late. Amazing. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. Brand new biblical question this week. And it's another doozy. Brand new. What's the difference between a Christian and an atheist? Is there a difference between a Christian and an atheist? Is there a difference between a Christian and an atheist? Isn't that an amazing question? Amazing. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse. Anywhere in the world, we are heard around the world by everybody and their mama. And if you're busy and can't sit and watch it, you can podcast, of course, but you can listen to the show no matter what you're doing and where you are as it is happening by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. So it is Monday. And for the new listeners who might not be aware, we take all calls, but ladies' calls are first as they come in, because Monday is and always will be Female Monday.
Just shut up and step up. I like to make men uncomfortable.
All my life I had to fight.
Let women take over.
Some of us believe that women are getting paid less than men.
I proudly say I'm a feminist. Thank you.
Deep in their soul, they want to be home with those babies. We've been lied to for so long.
Amazing. So, yesterday fellowship was very, very inspiring, for the lack of a better word. Inspiring. It was amazing. At least it was amazing. And if you were not there or watched it live, you missed it. But fret not, you can watch it, you can podcast yesterday fellowship at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Rebuildingtheman.com/church. And It was amazing. And those who are working on themselves, there are men and women who are truly working on themselves. There are those who start out, but they get off the path and go back into their hell. And then there are those who start and they go a ways down the road, and then their God, Satan, tell them, oh, it's not worth it. It's too much. It's not working. Get off and go back to your hell, and they go back to their own destruction. Because it's better not to start the journey than to start and turn around. Because when you turn around, you're going back into darkness, and it's going to be double of what you have left. It's already bad enough, but it is worse when you go back. And so if you're not ready to take this journey to overcome your misery, to overcome your false self, the hell, the misery that you live in, the fear, the jealousy, the doubt, the worry, and the comparison, suicidal thought, if you're not ready to overcome that, it's best to just stay in it and just suffer and die or whatever, right? It's best not to start this because the enemy of whom you're not aware of is serious about living inside of you. He is serious, and all his little demons, about living in you. And he loves the fact that you think it's you. You don't know why you do the things you do, but you still believe it's you doing the things. Think about that. You do things, you think things, you feel in certain ways that you don't want to feel. There are things that you do to yourself and others, you don't know why you do them. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why that happened. You get involved and you marry people, you don't know why you married them, men and women. And yet you think it's you. Think about that. You call it you. You say, I did this, and I did that. And you think it's you. And then you tell yourself, well, I'm miserable, but all people are miserable. We're not perfect. And when we get to heaven, it's going to be better. You lied to yourself. You lied to yourself. How are you going to get to heaven accepting your misery on earth, and then somehow or another you think it's going to be better? Who's telling you that? And you're in hell, and you've accepted hell as your place to be, because everybody's in hell. And somehow or another, you believe once you drop your body, you're going to heaven. That doesn't make sense to me. But, I mean, it makes sense that I know why you think that, but it doesn't make sense that you would believe something like that. What a mess, huh? You call your enemy you. You call your pain you. You call your misery, your loneliness, your suicidal thoughts you. Looking for love, you. You call it you. You have identified with evil, and you and evil has become one, and you call it you. What a mess! But you love your misery. What would you do if you didn't have your misery? If you didn't have your fake love? If you didn't have your false love? What will you do? Who will you be? If you couldn't push your wife around, if you couldn't push your husband around and control her or him, who would you be? Who would you be if you didn't read the Word, read the Bible, and then intellectually believe things that you read, and then you're still not free? You're still looking for something that has already happened. You don't know it. You're still waiting for the kingdom to come. It has already come. Who would you be if you start doubting that your belief is wrong? That the kingdom of heaven is already come, everything is already done, and that you're already free, you just don't know it. It's better to quote the scriptures and fight about the scriptures, who's right, who is wrong. Who would you be if you didn't fight about the word? Amazing. Yesterday we talked about, one of the things I brought up was all the misery and destruction and the hell on earth that is coming through human beings. It's coming through human beings. Hell come through people. Hell is on earth because people are on earth and they are in their hell. It's not out there just flying around by itself. You know what I mean? It's inside of a human being. It's a spiritual battle. And look at how nasty and wicked you are. And you say to yourself, you're good. You're better than somebody else. Because you don't do this or do that. You have your morals. And your morals don't even work. Why don't you drop them? Weak people are controlled by their morals. You notice that? Weak people are controlled by their moral values, morality. You don't see that you're a slave to your morality. And you're miserable. Oh, but you have morality. Why don't you wake up? I gave the example, if you want to see you want to see what's going on inside of you, pay attention to the media. Pay attention to the media today and the politicians and the people who strive to maintain power and wealth. And then pay attention to the people who are trying to hurt you, attacking you, how evil they are, and you're attacking them back, how evil you are. But the media and the politicians on both sides, Democrats and Republicans, are displaying in a big way on camera, right in front of your big screen TV. They are displaying how wicked and evil they are. Human beings are evil. Human beings are more evil than the words I can express. And when Christ said, don't trust a human because an angry person is an evil person, a nasty, judgmental, wicked person, he wasn't playing. They are murderers. You know, man, think about that. You think there's something good in a human being. You can't think of one thing that's good in a human being. And so I'm looking at how evil our government is on both sides. And how they went after Matt Gaetz. And, as you remember, Matt Gaetz was picked by Trump to become his attorney general, and the media went after him. And it was reported, I don't know if it's true or not, but the females that were accusing him, their attorney secretly at least put out his information, I don't know if it's true or not, put out his case. And the media and the politicians grab hold of it. And they keep, and they went after him with his personal life. And every human being on earth got something personal in their lives, right? I don't care about Matt Gaetz or President Trump or anyone's personal life. I want to just know, in a physical sense, if I vote for you, how would you make my country better? What would you do to make my country better? I don't care about you. And then the same people that went after Matt, they're okay with a man being what they call in a dress, calling him a woman, and they vote for him in government. They just did it in Congress. and they had some some man that was over the health thing or something in a dress, military suit. Amazing, huh? Wicked. And they forced Matt Gaetz to step down. If Matt had understood that whatever happened, it happened then, and that he didn't understand what was driving him at the time, as all human beings, not one, have to overcome that. All that want to, right? Matt should have stayed in and given them the finger and stayed with it. You got evil people judging evil people. Think about that. You have evil people judging evil people. Good people don't judge. And you can't find any good people, right? But good people don't judge. Evil people judge evil people. Whenever you hear someone gossiping or trying to hurt someone, that's an evil person gossiping about evil people. You're talking to an evil person gossiping about another evil person. And so the media and the politicians are playing out in a big way every human being on earth, except for those who have seen within themselves, those men and women that have seen that they are evil. They are evil. It's not someone else. They are evil. They're overcoming it. They're working on it. But for most people, not. They're just a handful now. And whenever you hear someone else blaming someone else for the way they think and the way they feel, that's an evil person or people. So I want you to smoke on this. You got evil people judging evil people. But that's hell. That is what hell is all about. You're already living in hell right here on earth, or you've overcome your evil heart and you're living in heaven on earth. But most people are not living in heaven on earth. And you can tell because you have fear. You gossip. You try to hurt others. You're lonely. You're depressed. You have thoughts. You believe your thoughts. You believe the thoughts. You believe the imagination. You're evil. You believe the imagination. Isn't that amazing? All in the name of Jesus. So some of you know, according to ABC, former Representative Matt Gaetz, President-elect Donald Trump's initial pick for Attorney General, announced Thursday that he is withdrawing his name for the role. Trump has since named Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General of Florida, as his new pick for this role. When I come back, we'll play that soundbite for you. Quick break already. What the? 888-7753-773. There's no good in human nature, in human beings, at all. And you're lying if you say so. Let me take a quick break. 888-77-JESSE. Back in a moment.
I just wanted to say that I've been listening to you for a few years now, and when you talk about the illusion of racism and how it's just a divisive tool that the media uses, and it's just good and evil.
Yes.
And that's what we got to focus on. It really has changed my life. My perspective is totally different now. I'm more calm. I'm more peaceful. You know, when you talk about forgiving your mother and letting go of that hate, and it just transforms you. So I just want to thank you for that. and let you know that, you really are doing God's work by waking people up with this message.
Amazing, Aaron. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Sure. I can hear the angels in heaven singing right now. They're rejoicing. That's amazing. Stay with the silent prayer. Speak up, don't resent, and doubt every thought. And Aaron, you have not seen anything. Anything. Okay. I got to remind you, as you know, if you know anything, I believe that men and women now become women. You cannot rely on the men for sure. That you should be independent. And I was raised as a kid that when I was growing up, that you should buy land. Remember, I always talk about buy yourself a piece of land. Own a piece of America. Buy yourself a little house and build it up and sell it and buy another. Or some land and eventually build on it. You should be independent. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have to work for somebody else. But you still can be independent, though you have a job working for someone else. Or you can start your own business. Buy land. I've invested in gold. And I've been investing in gold for a long time now. And I started to invest in gold when I didn't really understand gold. And so I looked into it, and I'm like, wow, this is a good investment. And so what I decided to do, invest in land and gold. And you could do the same. I want you to check out Goldco. And Goldco has been rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. They have earned over 6,000 plus 5-star reviews. They have won awards. And so this is a serious company. They have won awards from money.com. Back in 2024, Best Customer Service, and back in 2023, Best Educational Resources. So what I recommend is that you check them out. Really, I always say check out, even with me, don't believe it just because I said it, even with the scriptures or whatever. I want you to know that you know that you know so you can be clear what you're doing. All right? And so Goldco and I agreed. We came up with a deal for my listeners. Isn't that amazing? Looking out for you when you won't look out for yourself. Qualified customer will receive 10% instant match in bonus silver. 10% instant match. Once you qualify, you will receive 10% instant match in bonus silver. So go and visit JesseLovesGold.com. Jesse loves. I have to hit the S because hate is listening, and you know how he is. JesseLovesGold.com or call 855-644-GOLD. 855-644-GOLD. If you don't take care of you, who will? I recommend gold. All right? Amazing. Check out goldco.com. Amazing. I want to just finish this soundbite on where Matt Gaetz stepped down and Trump picked this female to be the next attorney general. This is from ABC 7. We don't have it?
Today, President-elect Trump's new pick for Attorney General, Pam Bondi, Florida AG turned lobbyist. Her nomination comes after Matt Gaetz withdrew his name from consideration. As Florida's Attorney General, Bondi sued multiple drug manufacturers and pharmacy chains for their role in the opioid crisis. She claims that work reduced opioid deaths statewide. She was criticized during the 2016 presidential campaign when she passed on a case against what was known as Trump University, shortly after receiving a donation from the Trump Foundation. And she rallied for then-candidate Trump at the 2016 Republican National Convention.
These laws are under siege by a president determined to ignore laws he doesn't like, and by a former Secretary of State who believes the laws don't apply to her.
In 2020, during Trump's first impeachment trial, Bondi stood by Trump as a member of his legal team.
They threw due process, fundamental fairness, and our Constitution out the window in the House proceedings. That's why we're here.
And at Trump's hush money case this spring, Bondi was one of several Trump allies showing up in a sign of support. That trial ended with Trump convicted of 34 felonies.
Amazing. So what I want you to notice that, yeah, the Democrats are going to go after her. And yes, the right-o Republicans may go after her. But I want you to notice that they're not going to treat her in the way they treated Matt Gaetz. They're not going to go at her with the same, it's going to be the same spirit, the same anger, the same wickedness, but not in the degree that they did to Matt. And the reason for that is because of that order of God in Christ, Christ and man, man over woman, woman over children. And the spirit that made a home in the woman hate the spirit that's made a home in men. Men represent God. They've been turned away and they have gone into a false identity of the female, right? But that spirit still knows that that man represents Christ, represent God on earth, I mean. And so they're not going to go after Pam as viciously as they went after Matt, because they know in that role, Matt would do a better job than Pam. Because men were created to lead, women were created to follow. So they put in Pam in a false position of leadership, and they're praising her for it, but she still won't do the same tough job that Matt Gaetz has done. Or would have done. Isn't that amazing? So you just pay attention. If you paid attention to you, you would see what's going on in human beings around you, in the world. But you don't even know what's going on inside of you. You have no idea what's happening in you. Isn't that amazing? And that's why you don't see what's going on outside of you, inside of others. But it's a mad, mad world in you and outside of you. So we'll see. I wish Pam Bondi well. But the attack upon men is pure evil. And do you know that the attack upon men, no one cares? You don't hear the Christians, male or females, some male, but most female, you don't hear them complaining about the attack on men, because the Christian women don't care either, except for those women who are starting to work on themselves and see what's going on with themselves. But the Christian women don't care about what's happening to men. I watch some of these shows sometimes, and they have these so-called Christian women running these shows. Every time they look for a quote-unquote expert, a doctor, lawyer, or somebody to represent a situation, they always pick women. Once in a while, they may pick a man, but 95% of the time, they pick women. You would think that male doctors don't even exist anymore. Male lawyers, you would think they don't even exist anymore. The attack is upon men, and it's interesting in that even men don't recognize it, and some do. But it's only going to make hell on earth even worse. You thought that mama made your hell bad? And she did. It's going to make hell on earth even worse because you're turning it over to the children of the lie, Satan's daughters. You're saying that they can run it. They said that, a woman is just the same as a man. A woman, no, she can't run it. Look at things are getting worse. They're not getting better, period. Look around you. They are worse as they are in the home when the men are not the light of the family. Pam Bondi, she may do all right. She went to college. She got a little intellectual knowledge, but she doesn't have common sense. She does not have common sense. Isn't that amazing? It's going to get worse, men and women, but your life don't have to be a part of that. You can be in the world and not of it. And ladies, continue, those who are working on themselves, forgive. Drop your anger. Forgive your mothers. Forgive your fathers. And be still and know God. Watch. Stay present. We talked about the greater works. Christ said that greater works shall we do than what he has done, right? And that you can't do that greater works unless you're working from within. Christ, he was talking spiritually when he said that. He said that this state that I am in, you could be in it too. You could have it too. The same state that Christ was in, you could be in that same state. And Christ was present. He lived in a state of presence. He lived in a state of love. He was right. And you could be right as well. And when your nature changed from evil to good, you're right. And when you're in that state, you can't help but do right. You got to be good in order to do right. You can't be evil and do good. You have to lie that, oh, that was so good. Because you were evil, so you got to make up lies about what you're doing. And other people around you call it good, and it's not good. The same state that Christ was in, you could be in it too. But you got to come out of your false state, out of your imagination, and you got to be present. Christ had a physical body. He overcame that body. When he died and rose again, he overcame the body. He overcame time. He overcame past and future, and he was present. You can live in the presence as well. But you don't want to. Oh, how long will it take? Why is it so hard? This is so painful. You're murmuring and complaining while carrying your cross to the crucifixion. Why complain? You should be glad your old nature is dying. You're complaining because you think you're dying. Isn't that amazing? You could be in the same state that Christ was in. But you have made Christ God. What the? And the same God that was in the Son, Christ, is in you, but you won't let that happen. You love Satan over God. You love evil over good. The same state that I am in, you could be in. But you got to die from all time. Forget about the past and the so-called future and live in the present. Stay present. Greater work shall you do. But you got to be good. And it's not you that's good or me that's good or anyone. Just like it's not you that's evil. It's something evil that made a home in you and it made you do the things that you don't want to do. And likewise, you could be good, but you got to die from evil. Stop identifying with it. Stop identifying with evil, you can be free just like that. But you got to overcome evil. Then you become one with good, and then good will work through you. You go to church and you read the Bible, you quote the Bible, and you're stupid, quote the Bible. And you love the Old Testament. I mean, not the Old Testament, but the Revelation. You wait for the Revelation to happen. It's already happened. It happened during the Old Testament, and when the New Testament came about, it was done. It has been completed. How sad. Just think about that. Kingdom of heaven is finished. It is done, and you're still waiting. I remember there was a line in John, with that guy, John the Baptist guy. Remember him? You remember him? Hey. Who was John the Baptist?
He was Jesus' cousin.
Right. That's how that was Jesus' kinfolk.
That is.
That's deep when you think about it. And when John the Baptist was baptizing people in water, and he was talking about there was someone to come, somebody going to come. And when Jesus appeared, John said, the kingdom of heaven is here. Something like that. You remember that?
Yeah. He said, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is near.
Right.
It's coming.
Jesus came, and when Jesus came, the kingdom of heaven was there. And yet, the kingdom of heaven is here, and you're still waiting for Jesus to come. Can you get any dumber? You can't.
I don't know.
What?
I said, I don't know.
You don't know what?
If you can get dumber.
When you think about that, people are like stuck on the revelation, and they are waiting. Do you know that human beings been waiting on the revelation to happen ever since our bone?
Yeah.
And way before that.
The rapture.
And it already has happened, and they waiting on the rapture.
Dreading the persecution of the Christians.
Can you get any dumber? It's finished. What does finish mean to you? It's done.
It reminds me of, people know that they have that God is in you. A lot of times when you pray the sinner's prayer, you ask Jesus into your heart.
Right.
They say. And yet they don't think that the word of God is in them.
I know. They think it's in the Bible.
Yeah.
Who made up the sinner's prayer? Where did that come from?
Gospel Bill.
Who?
I said Gospel Bill.
Who is Gospel Bill?
Gospel Bill is a children's Christian show that I used to watch when I was a kid.
He made up the sinner's prayer?
I don't know. That's where I learned it, though.
Because I noticed out here, I didn't see the sinner's prayer thing until I moved to California.
Right.
They didn't have a sinner's prayer when I was growing up.
I'm going to look it up.
When did the sinner's prayer, now that you brought that up, who made up the sinner's prayer? Did the Catholics do that too?
No, they say that it has roots in Protestant Christianity.
So the Protestant Christian made up the sinner's prayer, which don't work.
Evangelists such as Billy Graham. I was thinking about Billy Graham.
Where's Billy now?
He's looking down from heaven.
I'll rest my case.
And evangelistic organizations such as Campus Crusade for Christ brought it to prominence in the 1900s.
So Billy Graham made it up?
No, he popularized it. He helped popularize it.
The sinner's prayer.
Yeah. The altar call. You know how the pastor always does that?
Why don't the people see that the sinner's prayer don't work?
I think they're afraid to admit that it doesn't work. They think that there's something wrong with them and not the prayer.
There is something wrong with them.
I know.
Amazing.
They got to try harder.
888-7753-773. Let me go to first time call out of Arizona. Christine, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome.
I'm having a little trouble with the honor thy mother and father. Just as a short background.
Okay.
My stepfather was very controlling to the point of, he used to be a cop, and he bragged about, how people fell down on the way to jail, and, he really enjoyed abusing them. He was very controlling in the home. We dreaded going there because he couldn't talk about anything that was outside of his opinion. And I haven't spoken to either one of them or him for the last 5 years. And I haven't spoken to her for 3. And I got a very nasty text last night. Your father, my stepfather, is dying. And how dare I be the one that, it's all my fault that nobody's talking. Now, I know none of this is true. I know my mother is an empty vessel that was filled by a man that was abusive, and she's going to see whatever viewpoint he's put into her. But how do I honor her when she won't even speak to me?
How do you honor your mother and she won't speak to you?
Yes, how do I honor a mother that never protected me?
You forgive her knowing that she can't help herself? Don't resent her?
In my heart, Jesse, I just want her to call me and say, I'm hurting and I want you with me right now. And I forgive.
And why do you want...
She doesn't know that.
Why do you want that?
Well, that's a great question. All I can say is because she's my mother.
Why do you want your mother to do that? Why, you're a grown woman. Why do you need your mother to do that?
Well, I don't know. I guess I don't. I feel like I do. I feel like I'm a bad daughter or a bad person if I'm not here for them.
I don't want to repeat that. I'm sorry, Christine. What did you say?
I'm sorry. I said I feel like a bad daughter or a bad person because I just won't suck it up and be there and take this and accept all the blame and just let it go.
And what does a bad daughter feel like? Oh, can you hold for me?
Sure.
Hold on for me. Don't hang up. Hold on.
Sure.
888-7753-773. Back in a moment. Conservatives are starting to fight back. It is happening to us, too. I'm just taking it one day at a time. But you can go to JLPtalk.com and find all the ways to support us. You can check out rebuildingdemand.com and support our nonprofit organization. You can call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, and Sunny. And also, we have thefatherstate.tv. Ring the bell.
Some serious mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 1 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. Pardon the late start. It is Monday. Everybody loves Mondays, and especially female Mondays. Shout out to the females and the ladies, which are both one and the same. We are generous here. And there is one line open. You can call in right now. Hang tight, callers. JLP will be right back to your calls. But there is first hake news, not fake news. Again, one line open, 888-77-JESSE. Call Me Nonsense Network. CNN reports crooked Joe Biden is set to pardon two Thanksgiving turkeys at the White House today. The black on the inside White House. An interesting tradition, they call it, that dates back to President John F. K., the late, supposedly great president, back in 1963. This year's birds, Peach and Blossom, are their names. They will be spared a foul fate. Get it? Foul. And live out their days in an agricultural center in Minnesota. So they're Thanksgiving live turkeys, not dead, killed, eating turkeys. This Thanksgiving travel period is expected to be the busiest on record, with more than 31 million passengers in the skies. AAA estimates the busiest days to fly will be Wednesday, November 27th, and Sunday, December 1st, with more than 3 million passengers expected each day. The FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, said they might need to slow down air traffic due to air traffic controller staffing shortages. There must be some openings for air traffic controllers. Get yours. Shout out to the blacks and the women. You can become air traffic controllers, and hopefully you're qualified. Nice. Particularly up in the Northeast. Go up to the Northeast. They need air traffic controllers. The weather may also cause more delays as the FAA monitors two storms in the United States this week. The first is located across the greater upper Midwest area and could bring showers across parts of Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Nebraska. No, not Nebraska. My bad. Minnesota. A second storm in the central United States is expected to move into the eastern region by Thanksgiving Day and may even put a damper on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, if you know what that is. What a mess, huh? And, by the way, Republicans are bracing for how they will navigate the confirmation process with some of President-elect Donald J. Trump's most controversial, meaning halfway reasonable, cabinet selections. Picks like Pete Hegseth for Defense Secretary and Tulsi Gabbard for Spy Chief present a test for so-called GOP lawmakers in the narrowly controlled Senate. With most of Trump's top picks complete, attention is turning to what may be a planned policy blitz that could have inside the United States and around the world. Trump's incoming national security advisor said Sunday the president-elect's transition team is working closely with crooked Joe Biden's outgoing administration in the war in Ukraine and other major national security issues. I don't know how Ukraine is national security. Trump has vowed to end the war quickly, and I think he will. But there are fears in the Ukraine, that he will let Russia keep vast swaths of territory seized during its so-called illegal invasion. What a mess, huh? Also a mess is in the Middle East. A ceasefire deal between Israel and the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah is supposedly very close, even as an uptick in Israeli attacks saw the death toll in Lebanon since September pass a grim milestone. We're moving in this direction, but there are still some issues to address, so said a spokesman for Prime Minister-based Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu. Though the ceasefire talks are underway, Israeli strikes have escalated in recent days as reports describe heavy fighting near towns in Lebanon. 3,000 killed, over 13,000 injured since they went after each other. I'm James Hake, now back to JLP.
To stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show already. That's amazing to me. The second hour of the show. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Brand new biblical question. What's the difference between a Christian and an atheist? Why do they have Thanksgiving up there? What does that have to do with it? What's the difference between a Christian and an atheist?
Maybe Derek was thinking they all cut the turkey the same.
Maybe they eat the same meat. What's the difference between a Christian and an atheist? I haven't had turkey dressing in a long time. I think I'll have some this time. My aunt made the best turkey dressing on this side of heaven because she's from the country. But anyway, I don't know. I saw the turkey up there. What's the difference between a Christian and an atheist? You can listen to the show live if you're busy doing whatever you're doing. Whatever you're doing. Fighting to keep the illegals in the country. Protecting the people who broke the law to get here instead of protecting American citizens who are here. Who were born here, right? You can be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line. You can podcast the show too while you're out there protesting for the illegals who broke the law to get here. But you can podcast the show. But you can be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Cast. JLP Talk. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Monday. And we're going to get to your super chats too. It is Monday. And every Monday is and will always be Female Monday. All my life, I had to fight.
I like to make men uncomfortable.
All my life I had to fight.
Let women take over.
Some of us believe that women are getting paid less than men.
I proudly say I'm a feminist. Thank you.
Deep in their soul, they want to be home with those babies. We've been lied to for so long.
That's for sure. 888-77-JESSE. I want to go back to Christina, first-time caller out of Arizona. Christina suggested that she grew up in a bad situation with her stepfather. Now her mother won't talk to her. Apparently the stepfather is dying, and the mother is blaming her because everything is going bad. Am I right, Christina?
In a nutshell, yes.
Okay. And so your question for me is what?
I guess, what do I do? My husband and my grown son tell me not to. They said, you don't respond to a text message like that. That is just somebody that is spitting venom. You should wait until she can approach you in a civil manner.
And when your husband gave you that profound advice, why didn't you take it?
I am taking it. I am.
But if you're
But
taking it,
he listens to you as well.
oh,
And you know, he's the one that got me started listening to you.
right.
And I guess I've come to trust you as well. So I thought, you know, and I told my husband, thank you, I love that. But I am a woman. I'm confused. Do I take this advice? Do I take that advice? You know what I mean? I mean, I can admit it.
Right.
I can admit it.
Right on.
I am chaos. I am confusion.
Yeah. And who,
And
who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah. Who
I
am I to be blind?
I am. I'm just a blind woman.
Who am I to be blind? Present and just
What?
can't see.
So you think that's what I should do, huh?
No, who are you?
Who am I? I'm a daughter of God. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I am a being. I'm a sentient being with some God consciousness in me, and I feel things. I don't know what else to say. That's a great question.
And so, can you told me who you belong to, your wife, your mother, but you still didn't tell me who you are.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Did you know before today you didn't know who you were?
Yeah, I think I've always known that. It wouldn't be the first time that question came up, but I guess I haven't done any dark work about that.
And why not?
Life, it's not fun.
But how can life be fun when you don't know who you? How can life be fun when you don't know who you are?
Right, you're right. I mean, I know
that
it's
was
distractions.
That was a question.
It can be fun with distractions, but it will never really be meaningful without knowing who I am.
So you love your misery?
It would appear so, but I don't.
But if you
I just want everything to be quiet and calm and not disruptive and upset.
If you don't love your misery, why don't you let it go right now?
How do I do that? I mean, I'm going to be thinking about this all day, right? I'm going to be thinking about this constantly. I'm a woman. I perseverate on things.
And when you say you're going to be thinking about this all day, who is going to be thinking about this all day?
Me.
And who is me?
The person that cares what other people think or feel.
And who is that person?
Just a child of God that cares about everyone. I don't want anyone to hurt.
Who is that person?
I don't know.
But who are you talking about then? This person that's going to be thinking about this all day, you don't know who that is. You say you a child of God who cares about... How can you care about others when you don't even care about you?
I guess, yeah.
No,
I tend to push... I'm sorry. I tend to push myself and my own needs aside, which is a bad habit.
And who is the self that you're pushing aside?
With the stuff that I'm pushing aside.
No, who is the self? You say, I push myself.
Who is the self that I'm pushing aside?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Then how do you know you're pushing yourself aside when you don't know who you are?
Well, I'm pushing my feelings aside.
And where are you getting those feelings from?
I don't know. I've heard you say those thoughts are not my own.
And do you believe that?
I do.
Then why are you crying and carrying on? And why do you give one thought about what your mother or anyone else think if you are doing that?
I'm sorry. I'm at a loss.
Why do you care about, or why do you think about what your mother think? Or, okay, you have your own family. Why do you, even if you didn't have your own family, why do you think about what your mother think of you?
I just always thought that's how things are. I mean, you care about what your family thinks of you. I mean, you care about what society thinks of you.
Why?
I am sorry. I'm very upset. I'm trying to follow along here, but I think I'm getting a little stumped. Why do I care? I don't know. I do. I don't like to see anybody hurting. I mean, I realize we all have to, but...
Why you don't like seeing anyone hurting?
It hurts my heart. It makes me feel bad.
And who is feeling bad?
Myself, my inner soul, my heart.
And who are you? The self. Who are you?
I'm Christine.
That's your name.
I know.
Are you your name?
Well, I'd hope to have a little bit. I've got Christ in there, so I would hope to be a little bit of my name.
You got Christ in where?
In my heart, in my name, in my mind.
And why do you say that? You have Christ in there.
I'm constantly talking to Christ. I'm constantly talking to God anyway before this happened, just all day long.
And what does God or Christ say when you constantly talking to them? They say, how do they respond?
I don't get any answers. Maybe I do. Maybe I get them through my husband and my son.
How do Christ and or God respond to you constantly talking to them all day?
I don't really get responses like that.
So why do you keep talking? Why do you keep talking to someone that is not responding?
Because I know he's there and I know he loves me.
How do you know that?
I just know it in my heart. I've always known it.
So if you know that, why do you care about what other people think about you?
Well, I listen to you say, honor your mother and father, and honor your mother and father, and
you didn't answer this question first. If you know Christ and God is in your heart, why do you care about what other people think about you? Why do you even think about that?
I guess because I've been trained to do that.
And who trained you to do that?
Society.
And how can you care about what God thinks and hold on to what society taught you?
Wow, that's a great point.
No, that was a great question.
That I know, but it's making a point that's really helpful, that's setting off other things
like what,
for me to think about.
Like what, for example?
I mean, if all I care about is what God thinks of me, then I'm okay as long as that's all right. So there are other areas where I feel bad, where I've fallen short. That I can use that same.
But Christine, you going around and around and around and around we go. Who is feeling bad? You don't know who you are, so how do you know you feel bad?
How do I know that I feel bad?
Yeah.
Well, because I hurt. It's in my chest.
Are you your chest?
It's causing me anxiety. Well, no, it's part of me.
Who is having the anxiety?
Me.
And who are you?
Oh, Jesse. You're killing me, Smalls. I guess I don't know. Maybe I just called you prematurely. I haven't really thought about all this.
And why not?
Like I said, I push it to the back for less important things that need to get done.
And why don't you seek first the kingdom of God and His way, so that all can be added unto you? Why aren't you putting that before anybody or anything?
Thank you.
No, that was a question.
Yeah, I know, but like I said, say it again.
Why you're not seeking the kingdom of God before anyone or anything?
Because I'm wrong.
Meaning what?
And for several months now, I've been thinking to myself, you need to get in there and read the Word of God. Just read the red words. Just read them, get closer, and you'll be okay.
Reading the red word, reading the red word is not going to bring you closer to God at all. If anything, it's going to keep you away from God.
Why is that? I want to get to know Him better so that I'm I can have that peace like you exude.
You're not going to have it until you stop thinking about God.
What? Oh, Jesse, I guess I should have expected this. I mean, I do listen to you.
You should have expected what?
Just to get roasted and told the truth.
You're not getting roasted. What the?
Well, I kind of am. In the comments, I'm getting roasted, babe.
Oh, don't even pay attention to those people.
No, they're great.
Oh, okay. I want to go back. I want to, and this is so far down the road, I want to start from the beginning. Who is Christina or Christine?
I'm just another human walking around on this planet. I don't have a good answer for that. I think I need to get on that.
And who is crying right now? Who's shedding tears?
Somebody I don't really know.
And why are you shedding tears? What good is it doing you to shed tears?
I guess the only thing is a physical release, but it's not even that because it just brings more tears.
And so, did you know when she's crying, she's lying?
Yeah, I heard you say that. What am I lying? Oh, I'm lying to myself.
Yes. You pretend you care about your mama. You pretend you care what she thinks. You pretend you love your mama. You pretend you one with God. It's all lies. Your tears are fake.
You're absolutely right. How do I fix that?
I'm sorry?
How do I fix that? I want to let this go. I want it to be gone.
You got to forgive your mother for creating you in her image. And you got to forgive your father for not being there to protect you from your mother. And whatever the stepfather did, forgive him. Just as you cannot help yourself but be lost, they're lost too. And they did to you what was done to them.
Yeah.
And likewise, you're doing to your husband and your child or children what was done to you. You got this fake idea about who you are. You don't know who you are. Everything about you is false.
You're right.
So if I'm right, why are you going along with it, with this false image?
Well, because you just showed me right now.
Oh,
Give me a minute to catch up. Well, this feels better.
You don't care at all about your mother because had you cared about it, you would have forgiven her by realizing she is evil and can't help herself, and you would stay away from her and not be concerned one iota, not even think about her or what she think about you.
So I shouldn't try to make up or
Make
after
up for
he's
what?
gone?
Make up for what?
Well, I don't want her to be a little old lady all alone with nobody to take care of her.
And why not? That's what she wants. Why don't you want it?
I feel it's my obligation to take care of her. She took care of me when I was a child.
She was
She's
supposed
reverting back.
She was supposed to take care of you. She had it. It was the parents' responsibility. You don't owe her anything for that.
Good Lord, you have just the greatest way of putting things so I can understand. Thank you.
And so now, why do you care that she's alone? She wants to be alone. She loves her misery. Why do you can't even get rid of your own misery. Why do you care about your mother's misery? She loves hers and you love yours. Because if you didn't love your misery, you let it go.
I'm letting it go.
You have your own family. You don't need your mama.
I know. I know that now.
Oh, okay.
I know what you're saying now, and it makes perfect sense. It backs up everything my husband and my son have told me. And I just really appreciate you listening to me and giving me a different perspective. Because I feel like I can't. I mean, that was really, you've given me a lot to work on. Thank you. I have to get over myself.
And so tell me, in short, what have you gotten from this conversation?
I don't need to bend to society's norms. I need to be closer to God, and I only should care about what God thinks of me. I mean, I shouldn't care. I know that we're all evil, and I shouldn't care. I'm get rid of my misery. There's no reason for me to be crying. I've done nothing wrong. And even if I did, I can always say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel better.
You feel better
now?
I'm
so yes, I know. I'm so scattered right now, but it really makes a difference to know that I don't have to be the good daughter. I don't have to care what other people think of me. I need to find out who I am.
Yep.
And work on that with the help of my wonderful husband, of course.
What is it like? What is it like knowing that you've been praying to God and Jesus, according to what you've said? You've been praying to God and Jesus, and they have not answered your prayers at all.
Well, I'm not exactly sure that's true. Am I supposed to hear them? I feel like some prayers are answered in the form of situations that happen to me or somebody that will come into my life at a certain time.
No.
I feel like
those are not prayers being answered.
Okay.
What is it like knowing you've been praying? You say you talk to them all day too, right? Or all the time?
All the time, yeah. I mean,
So
wake
what
up.
is that like knowing that you're doing all that praying and it's not being answered?
I didn't know it wasn't being answered.
What did you think?
Until now, I mean.
Why did you say your prayers were being answered?
Well, I'm not saying they were or they weren't. I just have this ongoing dialogue.
But you're dialoguing with the devil.
I am?
Yeah. That's why
what?
That's why your prayers are not being answered. You're dialoguing with Satan and you call it God.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Well, cut it out.
Well, I don't know how to be. I guess I just need to find out who God is really and get closer because I feel like right now I'm a big old fake.
You need to find out not who God is. You need to find out who you are not.
Okay.
You're not your thoughts. You're not your emotions. You're not your body. You're not your job. You're not your wife. A wife. You are married, but that's not who you are. You're not a mother. You do have a child, but it's not who you are. You're none of the things you identify with evil and calling it you.
I don't want to do
that. And as long as you call all these things you would never know God. You love your misery.
Yeah, you're right.
You love crying. You love laughing. You love crying. You love being mad. You love overcoming mad. You love worry. You love not worrying. You love doubt. You love not doubting. You love a false belief in God. You love not believing. You love your misery. Why don't you drop your misery and you can be free? Why don't you stop identifying with misery or happiness? Stop identifying. No identity. Why don't you drop that so you can be free?
I can do that.
And drop this idea that you love your mama and somehow or another you owe your mama something. You honor your parents by not resenting them. Forgive them so that God can forgive you. Okay. And then you'll be free. That's what honor means. It doesn't mean you got to be under your mother's coattail. You got to be there for her. You got to do this for your mama and all that. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means don't resent them. They did the best they could. They were lost just as you are lost.
And honestly, that's what I told my husband is they were raised like that. And then we got that influence. And did we do the same to our son? I understand that.
How old is your son?
He's 32.
32?
I've already apologized to him and about the things that I've done in my life, and he's forgiven me. And I do honestly in my heart forgive both of them, my mother and my stepfather.
Then if you
I just really don't want to be there.
You don't need to be there, and you shouldn't be there. You have your own family. Even if you didn't have your own family, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. You don't have to be there. That's your mama and his responsibility, not yours.
Okay.
And let your mother live in her own misery. She lived by herself. If this man died and leave her alone, let her be alone. She love her misery.
Yeah, you're right.
Just as
You're
you
right.
love your misery, that's why you cry.
You're right. And I don't want to cry. I don't like this drama.
If you
I
didn't
used
want to
when I was
cry, you
younger.
wouldn't be crying. You do want to cry. If you didn't want to cry, you wouldn't be crying.
You're such a man. Sometimes it just comes.
What the?
Yeah.
Are you
Sometimes
doing
the tears just start.
Are you doing the silent prayer yet?
No.
And why not? So you're not even working
I
on
don't know.
yourself.
I felt like, well, the silent prayer, I just feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, I probably am. I just feel like somebody telling me how to do a certain set of words is
when somebody told you how to pray to God, and that's not working.
You got me there.
Is that true or not?
That's true. You got me.
And so now somebody tell you to sit down and be quiet and let God take over, and you're refusing to do that. You don't know what to pray for. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you need. How can you pray when you don't know what to pray for?
Yeah, I don't.
No, that was a question.
I think I do. I think I pray that, God will soften their hearts and they'll come back to me. But do I really want them?
But
do I really want to live in that misery?
What type of prayer is that? You're praying that God softens somebody's heart. Why do you want someone else's heart to soften? And they don't even want a soft heart.
I guess I just want things I can't have.
No, you don't know what you want. You pray for.
Yeah, you're right.
We
established that. I don't know who I am or what I want. You're absolutely right.
So then cut it out and let go. Do your little hoobah to holler if you're not sure yet. Do your little hoobah to holler to Jesus and God. And then and do the silent, be still and know God and see which one worked for you.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll start this morning.
And
thank you.
And do both, and you'll see which way to go, because the other prayer that you're doing now ain't working, ain't going to work, never meant to work. God even told you not to do it. He said to be still and know me. You don't even know what you want. All of your prayers is vanity. It's all
You're
vain.
right.
But yet you pray in vain.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Did your husband tell you to do the silent prayer?
No, he didn't tell me to do the silent prayer, but he did pray for me last night. I mean, he is a rock. He is a very godly man.
Well, he must not be. You won't listen.
I am listening. Jesse, it's been very recent, I would say, in the last 10 years that I have stopped all this, girls can do anything that a man can do, and realized that I am just an empty vessel, and I should listen to my husband. And since I've done that, my life has been so nice. His life has been so nice.
Of course.
We don't have the drama. We don't have the fight.
Yep.
We apologize more easily and more quickly. And I realize that he may not be book smarter than me, but he is smarter when it comes to spiritual matters. And I appreciate having a man that will lead my way.
Well, now God will lead your way. Your husband is leading you back to the Father. You return to the Father. Do the silent prayer. If you can talk to your mother, hey, mother, I'm sorry for resenting you for the way you've been. I realize now you can help yourself. And you be done with her and the stepfather. Where's your father? Is he still living?
I don't know.
You don't know where your father is?
He married a woman that was younger than me, and he touched me a couple of times. And
touch me in the morning.
I just
hold on a
wanted
minute.
to get away.
Hold
get
on.
away from him.
Hold on. Let me take a quick break. I'll come right back, and I'll wind up with Christine in a minute. Back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling, and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. Okay, welcome back. Couple announcement. The Hake Report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. The Hake, H-A-K-E, report.com from 9 to 11 a.m. And then at from 9 to 11. And then at 11, Joel Friday TV. Joel Friday TV. He black at 11 a.m. Pacific time, Monday through Thursday. And then at 2 p.m. today, a brand new episode of Punchie TV. A brand new episode. Watch this.
We have another special guest, producer of The Fallen State, Daniel. What's your last name? There's this man that is forced to fake his death so that his wife won't actually kill him. How do you not recognize a killer?
Well, they look like normal people.
Their life is still revolving around women, really.
But then there's also like this, something called
He went like this.
I saw his eyes go.
What did he say?
Can't say.
Amazing. Punchie TV, the producer of The Fallen State, is the guest at 2 p.m. today, Pacific time. And then at 4 p.m., the American Anchor Baby. At 4 p.m., he didn't do his show Friday. He's sorry. He technical problem. He's sorry. But he will be here today if the Lord is willing. And look at him. If the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise at 4 p.m. All right? 888-7753-773. Let me just wind up with Christine. Christine?
Yes.
Okay. So
yes, sir.
Here's what I recommend, all right? Do what you want, but I recommend this. I recommend you, just as you can't help yourself, your mother couldn't help yourself for whatever she did, all right?
Uh-huh.
She was evil. She hated her mother and her father. She couldn't help it. And then your stepfather, same thing. And you said your father touched you in the morning and then walked away?
Pretty much.
Touch me in the morning, then just walk away. We don't have tomorrow, but we had yesterday. Remember that song?
I do.
And so how do you feel about your father touching you, if that's true?
I just cut it off completely. I mean, it didn't. I was told when I was a baby that I couldn't be left alone with him because of an incident. And then later on when I was 15 and at his house, I was in bed and he came in drunk and ripped the covers down and put his hand on my leg and gave me that look like every woman knows. And that's when I left, and I didn't talk to him again.
Oh, okay. And so have you forgiven him?
Yes, I don't want anything to do with him, but I understand that people are people.
Have you forgiven your father?
In my heart, yes. I haven't called him and said that.
And then if you have not told either one of your parents, I'm sorry for resenting you, how will God forgive you if it's possible? It might not be possible to go to all people all the time, but if it's possible to go and forgive them, how will God forgive you if you don't forgive them?
Yeah.
No, that was a question.
He can't. I mean, I guess he can't. If I'm not willing to be forgiving, then why would he be forgiving of me?
And how will you ever have perfect peace? Because if you don't forgive, you're not going to enter into the kingdom of heaven. It's just not going to happen. How will you ever have perfect peace if you don't forgive so that you can enter into peace?
Okay. I'm on. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I can't.
And so you don't.
I would.
Go ahead.
I would have to call them both and tell them, "Hey, I'm sorry. I forgive you."
Yes, I'm sorry. I judged you. I was wrong. And it doesn't mean it's right what they did, but they can help it because they were driven by the same spirit that's driving you right now, evil, right? And so they can help it.
Yeah.
And so if you don't forgive them for their evil, how will God forgive you for your evil?
I guess
so
you
can't.
You
call them up if you can. Hey, I'm sorry for resenting you. I was wrong. I've been playing God. I'm sorry for that. And God will, and however they act and how they respond, don't respond to their reaction. Don't overreact, right? They may love their hell and they don't want to admit that they're wrong. You forgive them, God will forgive you, and I promise you, you shall be free.
Okay. I'm going to work on this.
And do the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. You do your little hooping and hollering. Oh, Lord, oh, Jesus, help pull me, have mercy, whatever you say.
Yeah.
And eventually you're going to drop that because you'll be still and you're going to let the Spirit of God take over. And he will reveal to you who you are not. And when you see who you're not, you will know who you are.
Okay. Thank you. I will do that. I will start now.
You have your work cut out.
I do.
Now
Thank you for the guidance.
Now you see when I say when she's crying, she lying?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I mean, I'm shocked that this is just, I've been talking to evil. I've been perpetuating evil.
Absolutely. You've been one with evil, calling it God.
That's awful. I got to change that.
And that's every Christian, everybody, until they finally look within and admit that they are evil at heart.
Yeah, you're right. I got to remember that.
All right, so cut out the tears and start working on you. Let me know how it goes.
Okay, I'm on it.
And
Thank
again,
you.
when you call your parents, your step parents, or whomever, just if they whatever have no expectation, you're just saying, "I'm sorry for judging you. I'm sorry for being angry," and God will forgive you. God didn't say ask for forgiveness from any human being because human beings don't forgive. He just wants you to admit that you're wrong for being angry, judging.
Okay, I am. I felt like I was righteous in it, but I'm not.
All human beings feel that they're righteous. That's the problem. And there's no righteousness in human beings at all.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's just I've never heard anybody say that like that.
I understand. But now that you can see it, you're on your way. That little light that you see with is the light of God, and he is allowing you to see. And if you just stay present like that, the light will take over and lead you in the right way to go.
Okay, I'm going to start working on this morning. Thank you very much for the guidance. I appreciate it.
You're totally welcome.
I don't want to do this evil anymore. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me know how it goes, all right?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. 888-775-3773. Let me go to Danny out of Bulgaria. Danny, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good day, Mr. Peterson. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Danny, how you?
All is well. Mr. Peterson, I'm calling with a lovely story. You're going to laugh a lot.
Okay.
There's this colleague of mine. She's a nice girl, and she was complaining to me about her mother, everything you're talking about. And I told her everything. You should go, you should forgive, and so on and so forth. But she didn't. And I found on YouTube one of your clips. You were at a church. You were talking. It's right a year old or something like that. And I sent her that clip. Said, listen, I have real problems with my mother. This is serious. This guy, where is he from? He's from the other side of the world. I don't want to hear it. I said, it's 5 minutes. When you go home, listen to this man. Just listen to this man. She's going home. She's calling me after it. Who's this guy and how come he knows so much about me? Where is he from? Everything you talked about is everything that she's going through. That's what I told her. I said, listen, we're all going through this.
Yeah.
And it was a crazy reaction. She really was a little bit scared. How come he knows so much about me? Who is this man? But you know what? She sounded different. I'm not sure if she talked to her mother afterwards, but somehow she realized that, and she did sound different. Forgiveness is very important.
Amazing.
And, that's what I want to go you for, man.
That's amazing. And how do you know that she's a nice lady, a nice girl?
She hasn't killed anyone so far that I know of.
And that's what makes her nice?
I think that classifies her as a nice, yes.
Amazing.
Amazing. I don't have a very high standard.
Yes. Denny.
Yes, sir.
Over in Bulgaria, do they celebrate Thanksgiving when the same way we celebrate it here at the same time?
No, sir. I think it's only you in Canada.
Oh, so they don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Bulgaria?
No, we have other celebrations that are similar
Really?
to that, but yeah, no, I don't think so. Not
So
that I know of.
Thanksgiving is not the same around the world?
Well, no, as far as I know, it's a historical event that took place between immigrants from Europe and the local population over there.
That's amazing. I did not realize that. Did you know that, Hey?
Yep.
So you knew Thanksgiving is like a special American thing only in Canada.
Yeah. Well, Canada has a different Thanksgiving.
Well, they don't even
They
have
tried
it.
to copy us, I think.
Oh.
They're not truly thankful. They're just copycats.
I did not know. I'm black
Whatever,
and slow.
James.
I did not know that, Denny.
Nah, as far as I know, it's mostly for the United States and Canada, but we have similar things here.
Right.
Every nation has its own version of Thanksgiving because the fact that you're a nation, you're on the map, you're your own people, there's a lot of reasons to be thankful for that.
That's amazing. Well, thank you, Denny. And so I don't need to say Happy Thanksgiving since there's no Thanksgiving over there.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you, Mr. Peterson.
Thank you, buddy.
And Mr. Hayes.
Amazing story.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Right on. I know how busy you are, gentlemen. Kind regards to your audience and your colleagues. God bless you.
God bless you, Denny. Thank you. Amazing. There's a line open, 888-775-3773. Super chat. Super.
Over on Cash App, Rivback says, appreciate everyone on the crew. Amazing.
Thank you. Thanks for your support, too. Thank you.
Ashley from California, chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. Last night through your window, I was looking at you. You should really close your blinds, Hake. Bet emoji, eyes emoji. Enjoy your coffee.
Amazing. Thank you. What the? She's a peeping Tom?
Well,
is it a lady or a man?
I think it's a couple. Because
A
Ashley,
couple ladies?
a man and a woman.
They peeping in the window at you?
I think they're lying.
Why are you so nervous then?
That's just my face. There was a follow-up coffee.
Okay.
That last coffee, says Ashley from California, was from Cuba, not from me, Ashley. Laughing face. I don't want you to think I'm looking at through your window, but apparently he does. LOL. Hope that clears things up.
Amazing. Thank you.
I still have questions. Thank you. Deplorable Dave from Rosamond, California says, Jesse, after paying closer attention to some of your calls recently, I understand now why you don't answer the dumb questions, like the so-called intellectual questions or whatnot. Who let the dogs out?
Whoa. Oh, amazing. Thank you.
Right on, Dave.
Yeah.
Jamil bought a coffee. Jesse, if I buy a shirt and order it to Europe, will it arrive before Russia drops a bomb on us? What the?
I hope so. Give it a try and see.
Good luck.
Yeah. Wish you well with that. Thank you.
A couple of Rumble rants from Dawn yesterday during church. Donnie Girl's idea. God bless and well wishes.
Thank you. Same to you. Amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She says it again. Pastor Chatelet says yesterday on a Rumble, good morning, friends. Hashtag Team Christ.
Amazing. Thank you.
Tony bought a coffee. I don't have much to say.
That's all it takes. Thank you.
So that reminds me of Vanessa.
That's right.
The gal from church.
Right on.
Ashley J, 10 coffees. If Jesus had a girlfriend, I just find it funny how you died for 3 days. You must think I'm stupid, huh? What the? Love your show, Jesse. Me and my children listen every day. My children and I. Keep doing God's work. We love you. Heart, American flag.
Amazing. Thank you. And thanks for your support. I appreciate it. Your children and y'all, thank you for supporting.
Someone, 3 coffees. Hello, sir. My wife and I have been married a little over 11 years. She has a son and now a grandson. He turned 1 over the weekend, and they had a party. I didn't go since the party she hasn't spoken to me really. I asked how it was, and she said, why? As if I cared, and I said I didn't. Was I out of order not to go or care?
Based on the information just given me, no, you were not out of order for not going if you didn't want to go. You should not have asked how was it, because you didn't really care. Anyway, why ask how was it? And now that she's not talking to you, if that's true, then she's just trying to control you. And so watch how you're feeling about the fact that she's not talking to you. And if you're feeling anything about it, know that there's something in you that you need to overcome. I wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you. Piotr bought 5 coffees. Thank you, Jesse and the team, for the best fellowship on this side of heaven.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Amazing.
3 thumbs up.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Lori says, biblical question and answer.
What's the difference between a Christian and an atheist?
The Christians I know think they won't go to hell because they believe they worship God, and atheists think they won't go to hell because they choose not to believe in a God. But unfortunately, both are in hell already and just don't see it.
Amazing. Wow, I want to respond, but I can't. I got to wait until Sunday. But very, very interesting response. Thank you.
Vanessa with 3 coffees. Anyone ever see an example of co-parenting that looks right or healthy for the kids? Ex-husband might want to take on our 4 boys full time, and I'm considering it simply because the boys need a man to show them how to become a man. Currently, my ex only sees the boys on weekends. He has his issues that he struggles with. I forgive him. I love him forever. Just trying to figure out the best situation for our boys, because it is not clear to me and hasn't been clear for a whole year.
Do the silent prayer so you can be present and you can see in the moment, in the situation, what to do about it, all right? Because I don't know. I'm not there. I don't know what your ex is thinking or anything. But you can see it if you stay present and stop consulting with thoughts. Your thoughts are going to only lead you from one situation to another one to another one to another, and it never will be right, all right? So stay present. If you're not doing the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com says prayer. Drop the anger and let the light guide you. Amazing. Thank you.
Easier done than said. 33 coffees. Very generous.
Thank you.
Doing laundry at a laundromat, exercising and getting stronger, being alone, not feeling alone, picked up more days at work, washing my car, blah, blah, blah. To think last month I was smoking, vaping, isolating, but in a paranoid, angry way, and living with my mother. I'm trying to clean it up. Living in my car, some might say.
I can see you struggling trying to clean it up.
But I call it camping with the Lord. All is well, David from California.
Stay with us, stay with us, stay with us. Stay present. Amazing.
Soul Conscious says, Jesse, church was phenomenal.
It was. It really was. I don't know where I would be had I not been fellowshipping and good fellowship the way we get in our fellowship. And just hearing other people. I'm being taught as I'm teaching. It's amazing. Stay with it, all right?
And I watched this movie over the weekend, minus the Hollywood actions. It reflected your messages a lot. It was deep. Hope you get to see it if you haven't.
Okay, I'll check it out. He recommended it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll check it out, and I'll let you know.
Somebody's mentioned it before.
Okay.
That dumb black female, says someone, talking about how white men have never been oppressed. How do you think America was founded? By white men being oppressed by their own government.
I rest my case.
Indeed. Duh. Great
Man,
point.
What a dumb female, huh?
That was Jasmine Crockett, I think.
Oh, God.
Seeker bought a coffee.
It definitely wasn't David Crockett.
I'll tell you that again. How can the mind and spirit coexist in harmony? I'm struggling to reconcile the two, says Seeker. Part of me is very practiced and grounded in the belief that physics governs everything. Yet another part resists that idea because it makes everything feel meaningless. Love you guys and what you do.
Amazing question. When you overcome the mind and live in the presence, then the mind must be obedient to the present, to the light. The mind have to be obedient. It has no other choice but to be obedient to the light. But you got to live in the present. You got to live in the light so that the mind will be subject to the light instead of you being subject to the mind, which is darkness. Isn't that amazing? Stay with it. Amazing.
No More Thoughts says, biblical question.
What's the difference between a Christian and an atheist?
Both are in hell, and neither one knows it.
Amazing. Amazing responses. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you, Seeker. Kid Combo 1 says, I got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got May.
I got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May. Well, I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, talking about my girl. Amazing, thank you.
Thank you, Kid Combo 1.0. And Mike Young says, hey, Jesse, since now that you have the Trump doll, I think it's time for you to do the Trump dance.
Everybody and their mama, and if you're white, everyone and their mama are doing the Trump dance. It's everywhere. It's in the air. I got to take a quick break. Thank you, Mike. I got to take a quick break. When I come back, straight to the callers, all right? Straight to the phones. The hate news, not the fake news. I'll be back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy. They're miserable. They have rough lives. They're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
some serious mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 2 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Monday, November 25th, AD 2024. There is one line open. You can call in right now during Hake News, Not Fake News. And JLP will be right back for the last hour of Female Monday. Everybody loves Mondays. And on Monday, we have Punchie TV. The Hake Report is continuing right after the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. This is Hake News. The Hake Report happens right after JLP. And then Joel Friday TV. And then Punchie TV at 2 p.m. Pacific Time. And then American Anchor, baby. Check them all out. You can go to jesseleepeterson.com/show and scroll on down to the network section if you need links to how to find each of us. Call Me Nonsense Network, CNN reports, Storm Burt. That doesn't sound like a woman's name. What the heck? What the heck? Storm Burt is wreaking havoc across the United Kingdom. That's England and elsewhere. As floods inundate parts of the country, as at least 5 people have died in multiple locations across Britain, so say authorities. Dramatic footage emerged over the weekend showing rivers in Wales, one of the hardest hit areas, bursting their banks to submerge low-lying streets. And vehicles parked outside. Residents are dealing with widespread power outages, and some 300 flights in and out of London's Heathrow Airport were also canceled over the weekend, with nearly 1,200 flights delayed. What a mess. The storm's expected to clear from the far northeast early Tuesday, tomorrow, though risks of further downpours and strong winds remain across the south of the UK until Wednesday. What a mess. And, you know, with the election over, egg prices are rising again. Joe stopped trying. But a spike in avian flu and high demand due to the holiday cooking are making the problem even worse. If you think about your holidays, you're baking, you're cooking, you're entertaining, all those require extra eggs, including eggnog, right? Said Emily Metz, president and CEO, a female one, apparently, of the American Egg Board. Did you know there was an American Egg Board? Egg prices at the grocery store were up about 30% in October from the year prior, according to Consumer Price Index. Thanks, Obama, right? Because that's who's really in, well, the administration all over again, right? At the same time, avian flu, that's the bird flu, has been plaguing farmers and egg supplies since January of 2022. But cases started to spike again last month in the key egg-producing states of Oregon, Utah, and Washington. Did you know they produce eggs? Resulting in a projected loss of about 60 million eggs. 60 million. Sounds high, according to a report by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, if you believe them. What a mess. Adele, you know that washed-up singer lady who lost too much weight, now she's unrecognizable? Shout out. I'm just kidding around halfway. The superstar singer bid a tearful farewell to her fans because her Las Vegas residency has ended. She's washed up. I'm kidding. She's not washed up. But she had her final night in Las Vegas at her Las Vegas residency. I say that because there's a lot of washed up, has-beens who do their Las Vegas residencies. But I like the has-beens. They're some of the best. Anyway, 2,000 families in the Philippines were displaced from their homes Sunday following a massive fire that destroyed thousands of shanties in Manila's biggest slum area. What a mess, huh? Terrible. Also terrible is logistics company DHL had an accident. The cause of the accident is still unknown. Investigation is underway, but a cargo plane crashed near the Vilnius airport in Lithuania, and it skidded into a house. What a mess. One crew member killed. 3 others survived the crash. 12 in the home were safely evacuated. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
to stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Welcome to the third hour of the show. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. And my brand new biblical question for this week. What's the difference between a Christian and an atheist? What's the difference between a Christian and an atheist? I don't know what the turkey thing had to do with it. But anyway, you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad if you're busy. You can podcast the show and watch it, of course, but you can listen on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. No matter where you are and what you're doing, even if you're trying to help the government protect the lawbreakers, the illegal aliens from being deported. You somehow or another, in your mind, you think it's fine to protect the lawbreakers over the American citizens, the illegal alien. Or you're smoking fentanyl, or you're smoking pot, or whatever, right? You can be listening to the show. You can also podcast. To donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Monday. It's the third hour of Monday already, believe it or not. It is female and will always be Female Monday.
I like to make men uncomfortable.
All my life I had to fight.
Let women take over.
Some of us believe that women are getting paid less than men.
I proudly say I'm a feminist. Thank you.
Deep in their soul, they want to be home with those babies. We've been lied to for so long.
Before I go back to the phone, and I will admit, I wanted to know your thoughts on this story. It's interesting in that a woman, according to the story, a woman was fired for her dress code. What do you think about this? This is from KVLY 11. Denise Kendrick, a Target employee in Fargo, claims she was fired for having trust in Jesus written on her name tag. Trust in Jesus written on her name tag, despite wearing Christian apparel without issues in the past. Watch this story.
And then she said, Denise, I have a question for you. And I said, yeah, what is it? And she said, you can't wear that name tag here. And I said, what?
Denise Kendrick says she was working at the Fargo Target this past weekend when she was told she couldn't have trust in Jesus on her name tag. She had it written on the tag next to her name.
And I had no problems with anyone approaching me wearing my Christian shirts.
According to Target's policy, Target is an equal opportunity employer that prohibits discrimination and will make decisions regarding employment opportunities, including hiring, promotion, and advancement, without regard to the following characteristics: race, color, national origin, religious beliefs, and so on.
I replied, well, I've seen people with rainbows on theirs. And I said, well, I'm going to continue to wear this name tag. And and then they said, well, you can't work here no more.
Denise says she asked for a reason why she was fired.
And I said, well, can I get it in writing why you're firing me? And they refused to do that.
Instead, Denise says Target gave her a paper with a list of contact information as it pertains to their dress code policy.
Gave me this paper with all these phone numbers on and said, if you have any questions about the violation of the dress code, just call one of these numbers. And he just kept repeating it. We just kept going back and forth, and it was going nowhere.
Amazing. What do you think about that, Anchor Baby? I haven't talked to anyone about this story. I just saw it this morning.
That's personally really silly from the like, she has a point in that they got the other people wearing rainbow stuff and all that. So she had a point in asking about it and asking a question about it. And I personally think it sounds like they're wrong for firing her, although they may be in their rights and all that. So she may have had a point. I don't know about arguing it further and further. She says she went back and forth with an employer there or something. There's a point where you got to realize it's a silly fight. And what is it that you're fighting for? At some point, it stops being about the principle or the right thing or even God or Jesus.
Meaning what?
You know, because maybe she even thinks that, well, I should be allowed to express Jesus and put him on somewhere. At some point, it stops even being about that. And now you're just fighting with someone.
Oh, okay. So now we're wondering, okay, let's say it's true. I don't know how much of this story is true coming from her, but let's say it's true. And everybody have rainbow color. They have atheists love Satan or whatever, right? And let's say that the company say, okay, you can't wear the Jesus thing on your shirt. And she looks around and she sees everybody else wearing other things. But it's the company wrong for saying, well, I don't care. I don't want you to wear Jesus. Do they have a right to say, well, though everybody else doing their stuff, you still can't wear Jesus?
Oh, yeah.
Which comes
I
first,
think so.
her sign or her job?
I think that's totally fine.
No, that was a question.
Say again?
That was a question.
No, I said that's fine. That would be fine if they did that. If the company told her, you're not allowed to wear Jesus, everybody else could do what they're doing. Yeah, if you make it that clear to me,
should she be able to sue him, and should she quit her job and all that mess, or should she have just said, "Oh, okay"?
Oh, you know what you're bringing up now?
No,
because it's like I personally wouldn't advise her to sue and get into this crazy fight. You might be bringing a lot of trouble for yourself.
Come here, Hank.
But you think about this. Think about the world these people set up,
right,
where it's like civil rights, and
right,
you're supposed to not discriminate. With the world that they've set up, what if it was used against? If fair is fair, wouldn't you be? She'd be almost in every right to sue them for this. You know what I'm saying?
Fair is fair.
If we're going with the rules they set up, right? That everyone gets a voice. You can't discriminate.
Hey, what do you think about that? And interesting though. You make another point I hadn't thought of yet at the time. But what do you think about that? Did you see the story?
I did.
And what do you think? What do you think about the fact the woman she quit her job?
No, she didn't quit. She just refused to obey.
Did she get fired? I forgot what happened.
She got fired.
Did she fire Nick?
I've been trying to remember the details this whole time.
No, she was arguing with the guy. Why is he firing her?
Oh, she got fired?
Uh-huh.
Oh, she was fired, I'm told. Okay.
Right.
So should she have just said, okay, no matter whatever everybody was wearing, or should she have gotten fired over a tag?
She should have said okay. She should have cleaned up her name tag. That's what I say.
Even though people, according to her, they ran rainbow colors and other things.
Did they wear rainbow colors on their name tag? Because she didn't get criticized for Christian shirts.
Right.
She got criticized for a Christian little thing on her name tag.
Said she loved Jesus.
Yeah, so
she
she
have
wasn't
just
even-
said, okay, because my job come first, or should she have that allowed herself to be fired over a stupid, I don't want to call it stupid, a name tag?
Depends on what she wants. But I think that she should want a job and live a quiet life rather than get in a fight. Because she didn't get fired for the name tag in reality.
Right.
She got fired for being stubborn.
Interesting. And then, is this a weak man or strong? KHOU. KHOU 11. A man is out of the hospital and recovering at home after he says his ex-girlfriend tried to kill him.
Strong.
What? Strong.
Elvis Munoz.
Elvis Munoz said he didn't realize it at first, but he was in an abusive relationship. Watch this from KHOU 11.
So it's a little hard.
Elvis Munoz is sharing his story, revealing the wounds he says his ex-girlfriend Alexis Pinto left behind when she shot him. He says she tried to kill him.
To take care of somebody and love them as so much for 3 years, and for them to pay you with bullets, try to take your life.
He says he didn't realize it at first, but he was in an abusive relationship. Munoz says his girlfriend was jealous, controlling, and isolated him from his loved ones. It all came to a head on September 5th when she took him to a wooded area near 288 and Airport Boulevard, supposedly to watch the sunset. Instead, she allegedly opened fire.
That's when I felt my left hand get hit. Like I just felt my hand get hot, and I was running, holding my chest and stomach.
He says she aimed the gun directly at his face. Fortunately, he moved just in time and the bullet grazed him.
I just threw my hand like this, and I moved my head, and it went in.
After emptying her gun, Elvis Munoz says he convinced Alexis Pinto to get help. She called her father and drove him to a gas station where help finally arrived. Multiple surgeries later, Elvis, once a mechanic, is now disabled with limited movement in his hands.
Dang.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's a strong man, I say.
I wish, huh?
A whole magazine clip. It's not a clip.
I know.
Couldn't drop him. And he convinced her to get help. Nice.
Oh, he convinced her afterwards.
Yeah, to call her dad.
Well, when you're but when you're like, after she shoots you and you're bleeding, now she's like feeling bad.
Alpha or beta?
Huh?
Alpha or beta?
I would rather have been shot dead. I would rather that might be my story than go on the news and say, I think I was in an abusive relationship.
I know.
You didn't realize.
And apparently, according to KHOU 11, Pinto has to follow some strict bond conditions, including wearing an ankle monitor.
So she's out?
Evidently. What is this?
I took several shots. I fought for my life for hours.
But just yesterday, the same day he was getting a bullet removed from his back, Alexis's bond was reduced from $75,000 to $10,000. He's now scared, not just for himself, but for the family that is caring for him.
I am furious that the system is not doing their part because someone stated that she has a mental illness.
Now Alexis Pinto is out on bond, and Elvis Munoz says he's living in fear.
She might want to come back and do something.
Dang.
Alpha or beta? No, I'm saying alpha or beta.
How is this relevant? How do you ask this such a question after he got shot? Well, he's beta.
Why is he beta?
Because he was with a gal who tried to kill him. That's beta. But I'm happy for him that he survived.
And why?
Because who wants to be dead? I would disagree with Nick, Anchor Baby. I mean, I don't know what this quality of his life is going to be like. They said
Nick, I
that
let
he's
my
just...
cheer up. I hope I didn't mess up the camera.
There's such a thing as dying like a man.
Nick, can I mess up when I move my chair up?
I'll check.
Okay, go ahead.
But there's also such a thing as being handicapped like a man and learning your lesson.
Alpha or beta?
Beta. Ultimately, beta. He's like I get the impression he's
beta.
I'd say beta, but
Why you say
ultimately
beta?
But I get the impression he's one of those like top of the beta pile. You know what I mean? Like multiple women, they're beautiful. He's getting in trouble, got money. Maybe I don't even know if that's true. Now I'm just adding to it. But.
Yeah, you just add.
She was prettier in her normal picture than she was in her mugshot. She looked all messed up in her mugshot.
What was the normal picture?
There was like a party picture where they're like at a dance or school dance or something.
How did a man end up in a situation where some woman is controlling him like this and he doesn't know it? He said he didn't know he was in an abusive. That's so beta. I'm in an abusive relationship and I ain't know it. You don't know you were a psycho?
I know
this
players
reminds
like
me
that.
of
That's what I'm
Punchie
trying to say.
TV coming out today.
In what way?
Sneak peek. There was another man in an abusive relationship.
Oh.
Not too different from this.
Oh, yeah?
He married her. Not to spoil it, Joel, like I always do.
All the players I know are kind of like this.
Like betas?
Like
he's upper
getting
beta.
himself into trouble.
He's like upper
constantly
beta
like
class.
this.
Amazing.
I don't think he's top of the class.
What are you dealing with today on your show?
Who, me?
Derek said he did good pulling a baddie.
Yeah.
What's a baddie?
Really good looking gal.
He was too weak for her. She was pretty.
To me and Derek.
To Derek and I.
To Derek and me.
And me. He's like, yeah, she kind of pretty. Derek don't like black women, that's why.
Well, I don't think that's true. Now you're just slandering.
Do you like black women, Derek?
The producer.
Yeah. He said yes, he loves. I'm talking to my producer about his side. Okay. So Nick, you said beta or alpha?
Yeah, beta.
Beta?
Mm-hmm.
And you say beta or alpha?
After you corner me, I say beta.
Why?
Because it's not right.
How did we get to a point that men are now saying that they're in an abusive? That sounds so woman-like.
I know.
They're in an abusive relationship. Man, they got no business, number one, being in an abusive relationship or even saying it.
Women don't either, really.
Right.
I look at
women
them.
would be lying when they say it.
Yeah, I look at them sideways. I'm like, okay, you're one of those when they say that.
Jason is out of Buffalo, New York. Jason, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello?
Hey, Jason.
Hey, what's up? I want to know, like, how do you know, like, the way that you follow God is the right way that you follow God?
What?
How do you know, like, what you be telling people is right?
What do you mean?
I got a quick. You see, because I was looking up, you say you got the silent prayer thing, right?
Right.
Now, I was looking up. Now, you don't think God would tell people how to pray, tell you how to do things, how he wants you to do things?
I don't understand the question.
God, you have a relationship with God. You say God taught you, right?
Yes. Just for the sake of the conversation, yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So, but like in the Bible,
Jason, you don't even believe in God, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I don't know about it. I don't know about the whole situation.
But you don't believe in God, right?
Believing and knowing is two different things. That doesn't have nothing to do with this conversation.
So, do you know God?
There is no God. I could explain to you why there is no God, but I just want to tell you this right here.
But how are you going to tell me when you say there is no God? Are you trying to prove now that there is no God?
No, that's not what I'm trying to prove right now.
Go
I'm
ahead.
trying to say, like,
okay, go ahead.
What I'm trying to prove is, like, God specifically says in Luke chapter 11, verse 1 through 4, this is what you say. This is the prayer that he wants you to say. in Luke chapter 7, verse 1 through chapter 11, verse 1 through 4, that your God tells you exactly what he wants you to say to him.
And what was that?
He wants you to,
and what was that?
Yeah. And what was that? Like, yo, you can't have your people look it up.
No,
So,
you
like,
the
your
one
solid-
said it, Mace. What
Okay,
what's
okay,
I mean,
okay. All right,
Jason?
so-
what
all right,
what the
I'm-
prayer
I'm-
that he what the prayer that he wanted you to say?
Hold on. Before I tell you, I'm looking at it right now. Before I tell you
Okay,
that, so
what
the
was
thing when
it?
you talk about, so when you talk about the silent prayer, like the silent prayer has nothing to do with God. That is
Okay,
what
tell
you
me the
choose.
prayer that he wanted you to say.
He says, Father, how by your name, your kingdom come.
What?
Give us each day.
Hey, Jason.
It says, Father, wait. Hold on. I'm reading it. That's what it says. Follow, hallowed be thy name, be your name. Your kingdom come. Give us each day our daily bread.
You
Forgive
missed
us
it. You
of our
just skipped
sins.
something.
What did I skip?
Start over. Take your time.
Said, Father, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Give us each day our daily bread. Forgive us. Forgive us of our sins, for we also forgive everyone who sins against us.
It
That's
doesn't
what he
say
said.
that.
Yes, it does. It said, he said to them,
Go
when
ahead.
you pray, say this.
No, start over. Go ahead.
No. Have them read it if you don't believe what I'm saying. Have them read it.
No, go ahead. Finish it up.
I just read it. That's the phrase. That's the prayer that God wants people to pray.
Well, that's the
So
whole
when you tell
thing.
people- yeah. So when you tell
Where do
people
you
to do
read
the
that
silent
from?
prayer,
The Black Jesus Black Jew book?
no, the NIV, the NIV.
Okay,
the New
I'm
King
sorry,
James
Jason.
Version.
Jason, start over. I'll be quiet. I'll let you finish the whole thing.
There's nothing else to read. The question is the thing about
No,
your
read the
silent
whole
prayer.
thing for me.
I'm like, yo, God, like, I want to talk about the silent prayer, dude.
But read
Yo,
the
God,
whole
like,
thing for it, and then we'll talk about the silent prayer. Did he hang up?
He disconnected somehow.
Why you hang up? What the? He hung up for. I didn't hang up. My producer did not hang up. Hate did not hang up, and the anchor baby did not hang up. Call back, Jason. I'll take your call if you do. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Jay, a first-time caller out of Michigan. Jay, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
All right. Hey, how you doing, Jesse?
All is well, Jay.
I had a question about. I had a friend that passed away, and he fell away from God for like 20 years. But at the end, he was coming back. He got away from the drinking. But then he ended up getting really bad, really sick, and he ended up dying. But the one thing he didn't get away from, he was trying, was cigarettes. And I have half of the people I know saying people go to heaven no matter what on that, and I have other people saying that people go to hell for that. So my question is, how do you take that?
How do I tell you what now?
If somebody's smoking it right before they die and they're trying to quit but they can't and they die, but everything else in their life has been they're really about stuff. Are they going to heaven or are they going to hell?
And then you said that he fell away from God?
Yeah, for about 20 years.
And why do you say he fell away from God?
He just went into a life of drinking because he was upset, and he was in he had really bad chronic pain, but he did fall away a little bit. I mean, he still read the Bible every day and prayed, but he was miserable, and he could not get away from those things for 20 years.
Why do you think that it is possible to fall away from God? Where do you get that idea from?
Well, I mean, I guess you could call it a backsliding. My bad.
And what does backsliding mean?
It just maybe pulling back a little bit. Because it's going maybe from someone having a closeness to God and then maybe kind of walking away a little bit from him a little bit.
That's not possible.
Okay.
It's not possible to be born of God and then so-called backslide or bag away and all that kind of. It is. I don't know him, so based on your words, he had never known God. And that's why he was having all the conflict, and that's why he was smoking. And smoking doesn't cause you to go to hell. Your reason for smoking causing you to live in hell. Because people who smoke, They're smoking to forget rather than to remember. They don't want to overcome their misery, so they use smoking to cover up their misery, but they're still misery. Smoking has nothing to do with getting you in hell or heaven.
Okay.
Thank you, Jay.
Hey, thank you very much. May you all have a blessed Thanksgiving, and may the Lord Jesus keep his hand over everybody there and yourself.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
I appreciate that. Thank you. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Daryl, our first-time caller. There's one line open. 888-77 Jesse. Let me go to Daryl, a first-time caller out of New York. Let's see here. Daryl, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How you doing, Jesse?
All is well.
Yeah, I was calling you to congratulate you. You got your guy in office, Donald Trump.
Thank you very much. It's amazing. I can feel it in the air. It's everywhere.
I love the First Amendment. Nobody loves it better than me. Nobody. Who uses it more than I do?
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Amazing.
Yeah.
Did you vote for him?
No, I would never vote for Trump, but I'm
Why not?
a hater. No, I don't. I dislike Trump, so.
Why?
I'm not, because he's not a good man, but that's here nor there.
And why do you say that he's not a good man?
His record shows. You know, we have track records in life, and his track record is not one that's good.
Do you know anybody that has a track record that's good?
Yeah, but yeah, I know a lot of people that have good track records.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Did you vote for Camilla?
I didn't vote at all. I didn't vote for either one.
Oh, you don't vote?
No, I don't vote.
Why not?
It's like, I don't want to vote for either, so I just don't vote at all.
And so you won't have anything to complain about when
I'm not
when he's no, I'm not saying you are complaining. I'm just saying you will not be able to complain when he's making America great again, right? While he's making America great again, right?
If he makes America great, that's a good thing. You can't make something great. You cannot make something great again if it was once great. It just would have to just be great. But
what do you mean by? I don't understand that.
Like, if something is great, then you cannot. If something was once great, you can't make it great again. It should still be great.
But it was great beforehand, and the liberal whites and the blacks, and they destroyed it, and so now, and now he's making it great again. You remember when America was once great, right?
No, I'm trying to find out when that time was. If I could find that out, then I can agree or not agree.
Oh, okay. It was just before the civil rights movement came about. Before the so-called civil rights movement, which was a big mistake, America was great.
Oh, I wasn't alive, so I wouldn't know. You was alive, maybe you know. I don't know.
Yeah, how old were you? So how old are you now?
I'm only 38 years old, so I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, America was great, and I was a witness. America was great prior to the civil rights movement.
My dad told me different, and my grandfolks told me different. And
are they white?
My neighbors are white.
No, are your dad and your grandfather?
No, they're black.
Oh, okay.
They're descended from Jamaica.
Oh, well, no wonder. I'm talking about for Americans.
Yeah, for America. They was here, though. They lived here.
Oh, they were born here?
Yeah, they was born here, but their ancestors come from Jamaica, and they couldn't tell me anything too good about America then or now.
That's horrible. No, isn't that horrible? Why didn't they go back to Jamaica if they weren't that happy?
Well, they own a lot of property and real estate and do well in Jamaica, too, but they live here.
So why did they go back if they didn't like America?
People like to be where they're at.
Why?
People like to move around. You can't ask a person that. You wasn't born in
I was born here.
No, you wasn't.
I was born in Alabama.
Yeah, but you wasn't born in California. You relocate.
Let me take a break. Hold on. I totally disagree. Treasure chest is now open on D-Live. Back in a moment. What the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good, or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Okay, welcome back. The Hake Report coming up at the top of this hour. You don't want to miss it. The guy with the good hair, thehakereport.com from 9 to 11. And at 11 a.m., Joel Friday TV. He black. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. And then at 2 p.m., Punchie TV. Punchie TV. Watch this.
We have another special guest, producer of The Fallen State, Daniel. What's your last name? There's this man that is forced to fake his death so that his wife won't actually kill him. How do you not recognize a killer?
Well, they look like normal people.
Their life is still revolving around women, really.
But then there's also like this, something called
He went like this.
I saw his eyes go.
At 2 p.m. today, Punchie TV on YouTube and Punchie.tv. And at 4 p.m., The American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. All right? Two things. Get your orders in so we can get the products back to you in time for Christmas. All right? A lot of people ordering, so we got a lot of stuff to put together, get out to you. But we now have DEI. And so everything, the service in America is screwed up. So this mail is going to take some time. That way you have your Christmas presents on time for you and your family, your friends, or whatever. Your books, my books, and T-shirts, and Stop Having Sex Out of Wedlock, T-shirt, and mugs, and hats, and Great White Hope, and all kinds of stuff. All right? Everything. Go to, and we'll assign all the books. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663, and put in your order. Also, for personal shout-outs, I'll do them as well for you. Personalized shout-outs. Go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Birthday shout out, weddings, anniversaries, encouragement, happy Thanksgiving, happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and blah, blah, blah. CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Let me go quick back to Darrell. And Darrell is congratulating me on the win of the Great White Hope, Donald Trump. And Darrell, you don't believe, do you believe that America was amazing at one time, was great?
I think America will always be America. It's a melting pot of a whole bunch of people, different nationalities. So it's going to be what it's going to be.
But do you believe it was great before the Civil Rights Movement?
I wasn't alive, so I can't say yes or no to that answer.
Okay. But it was. I want you to know that it was. And and then once the civil rights, so-called civil rights movement, which was civil wrong, The civil rights movement, other than abortion, was the worst thing that ever happened to the blacks and to the country.
Jesse, may I ask you, what is a DEI hire? Because I hear it a lot all of a sudden.
It's a black that's not qualified. It's just based on color. It's based on so-called sexual whatever, and color. And it's not the best person for the job. It's based on male or female, the color thing, rather than the best qualified person.
Okay,
diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I got you. So DEI can only go for a black person. It couldn't go for a Mexican.
Yeah, I think they include the Mexicans now, but it's for the blacks, the transgender people, and the black females, something like that.
What about white people?
No, it's
white
not.
People
it's not for the whites because the whites are qualified. It's for people. It's for people. Yeah, it's for people who are not qualified.
So white people are qualified for every job that they take?
Yes.
So that Jesse, I don't think that's a true statement, and you shouldn't say something.
Why you don't think that's true?
Are there white people that work at McDonald's?
At McDonald's?
Yeah, are there white people that work at McDonald's?
Yeah.
So why are they not qualified for a better job? Why are they working at McDonald's or Subway?
Well, they're running McDonald's. They're the manager.
No. I actually go to McDonald's where I live, and I see weirdo-looking white people that work in McDonald's are taking my order. And they're in their 40s.
You say you see white people at McDonald's working?
Yeah, in their 40s, 30s, every age. But the bank or something like that.
But McDonald's is a job. There's nothing wrong with that. They're qualified to work at McDonald's.
They're qualified to make $13.75 an hour. That's not. What kind of qualifications do you need? My daughter's 16 years old.
How old?
She can work at McDonald's.
Does she work there?
No, she has a better job than that. She's actually a counselor at a school.
Oh.
At 16 years, she makes more money than them, and they were at McDonald's.
Is she black?
Yeah, my daughter is a black.
That's why.
No, she's very educated.
She's 16 years old. She ain't that smart.
She's in college at 16.
But that's because she's black. You're making my point. Because if you're black...
I'm not making your point. I'm proving my point that there are smart people in the world that are every color. I'm not racist, so there's white people that's smart, there's black people that's smart, there's Mexicans that's smart.
When the last time you seen a black smart person?
All the time.
Tell me what they did to make America great.
A black person?
Yeah.
The guy that works with Trump that does the HUD, he's a neurologist. He's black. He's one of the smartest people in America.
We're not talking about smart people with Trump. We're talking about the non-smart people that's not with Trump.
Oh, so if they with Trump, they can be smart, but if they're not with Trump, they can't be smart. Come on, Jesse. I know you're smarter than that. I know.
But there's some, not all, but there's some black people who are smart, but they don't identify with color. They don't identify with the Democratic plantation idea. They're not looking for handouts. They don't want you to feel sorry for them. They don't want you to let them in simply because of their color. So it's not all blacks. It's most, but not all.
Not all.
Right. And you agree with that, right?
I don't agree with that because there's a lot of smart people in every race.
Like who? Like who?
A lot. You want me to go? All right, I can name 50
and then I'm going to have to run, but tell me one thing that the blacks have done to make America great.
Black people in America, but that black. If without black people in America, America wouldn't be as good as it is now.
That's not the question. That's not the question. I asked you to name me one thing. Tell me one thing that the blacks.
Name it.
They're building the next rocket to the moon.
That's Elon Musk, and he's not white.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's an African.
No, all of a sudden
Elon Musk is African.
all of a
Musk is
sudden
an
you want to make
African.
him black. Elon is white.
I didn't say he was black, but he's not white either. He's African.
He's white.
He's not white. He's not a European.
He ain't
White
black.
But he ain't white either.
Tell me one thing that the blacks have done to. He's not white. Is he white?
Well, Elon Musk is not white.
He look
He's
white to
African.
me. Does he look black?
Well, the Rock, he looks white, but he's not white.
Who?
The Rock, the wrestler, The Rock. He
What's
looks
a
white,
Rock?
but he's not white. The Rock, the wrestler.
The Rock at the
actor.
beach?
No, The Rock. You
I
know
don't
who
know
The
where
Rock
that.
is.
No, I don't. I don't know where The Rock is.
You know Dwayne Johnson is. He's a famous actor. And
What does
wrestler.
that have to do with Elon Musk?
Because you're saying because he looks white that he has to be white. The Rock looks white, but he's not
Are you
white.
saying Elon is black?
I'm not saying he's black. I'm just saying he doesn't identify as a European because he is
Name
not
me one last
European.
time, and then I got to rub out. I want you to call me again. Name me one thing that the blacks have done to make America great.
Well, the two black ladies that made America go into space because they're mathematical genius
No,
made
they
us
didn't.
go to the moon.
They had
Yes,
nothing to do with it.
They made us go to the moon.
No,
Two
they did
black
not.
females.
I don't know who you're talking about, but if they black, and they only got there because they were black.
It's called Google. There was no
Google?
DEI. There was no DEI hiring then. And ask Hake. Hake knows.
What?
Ask Hake. He knows about the two black females
You
that
know about 'em?
did the mathematical problem that brought America to the moon. That's how we got to the moon first. It was because two black females.
Hold on a minute. Hake is here.
I saw that movie.
That was a movie.
And it was a true story.
That was a lie. What?
Hey, isn't it true?
No, if it's a movie.
I don't know if they didn't. I don't know whether or not they had DEI, and I don't know how key they were. But that was when black women were classy. But I don't know if those black women were classy.
When was this?
This is back in the 60s or something.
In the 60s? Well, that don't count.
That counts.
I told you to name me something that black people have done to make America great after the civil rights movement, since the civil rights movement happened.
You can't pick a time period. That's not.
But before the civil rights movement, black people were amazing. They were doing things. But since the civil rights movement, all they've been doing is begging, killing, robbing, and stealing, and begging.
I'm gonna give you this, Jesse. White people are very influential in America. That's of course everyone knows that.
Yes.
But you cannot take away black people, Asian people, and Indian people, and every other race of people. We all contributed to America.
Yeah, they are contributing, but trouble.
No, you can't say that. We're just all trying to get along. Stop separating us. Because I love Hake like I love you.
Right, but you're not like, so you're normal. You're not like all the other blacks.
Most black people are like this.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
I'm not here to argue with you. You're my brother. Hake
I know
is my
that.
brother.
I know.
Noel is my brother. The
How about
Anchor Baby is my brother.
Yeah, and how
brothers.
about Derek?
Derek is our brother. We all family.
How about Daniel?
Daniel, everybody.
How about
Omi? Love each other. I love you, JC. I gotta go, man.
All right, buddy.
Keep it peaceful, man.
I will. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Amazing. Super chat. Super
chats.
Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, Nikki bought 3 coffees. They're just super chats, guys. My boss yells at me like I'm his wife. I don't take it personally. I know he can't help it. Yesterday, I told him to calm down and keep quiet, and he actually listened to me. Shouting emoji. Beta.
Amazing. Thank you.
That's funny.
Nice.
T. Smith bought a Cash App saying, for coffee.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Curly on Cash App. Curly with a K. No comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Ian
on Cash App. I quit the pot finally after 8 years. Thanks to you, Jay.
Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. You're going to overcome all things. You will overcome the world if you stay with it. Amazing.
Another on Cash App from Ian. Perfect peace, he says.
Thank you. Nice.
Cornerstone on Cash App. What was Christ's greatest lesson? Faith? Love?
Love.
Nice.
Love. Because if you don't love, you have nothing. It's all vanity. Love. Real love, not mama love, not emotional love, dispassionate love. Amazing. Thank you.
Wall 0082 on Rumble says, I was molested this morning. The guy at the drive-thru looked at me.
Forgive them. Oh, God. Amazing. Thank you.
IB Jesse B bought a coffee. My grandparents that raised me recently expired. Are they sleeping and awaiting the return of Jesus, as the Bible says? Or are they hanging out with Jesus, as the Bible also says? So confusing.
I wouldn't think about it if I were you, because you don't know where their hearts were when they expired, unless you knew them very well. But I don't know. I have no idea. Interesting question, though. Thank you.
Hannes, 5 coffees. Biblical question.
What's the difference between a Christian and an atheist?
There is no difference, except an atheist is more honest. Perhaps from now on, no one should be a Christian, quote unquote, but be labeled an atheist until they have forgiven and they practice the silent prayer. Amazing Sunday service.
It was. Thank you. But how do you say there is no difference except?
Then that means there's one difference.
There is one difference. There is no difference except. What? But I appreciate you responding to the biblical question, and I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you.
Rumpelstiltskin asks, will the Wicked Witch of the West be voted out or die in office?
That's a really good question. For those who don't know, the Wicked Witch of the West with the low IQ, Maxine Waters, I don't know. She's in a black area, predominantly black, and I just don't. The blacks are so attached to their color, and they think that's the right thing to be. I don't know. Never mind, Maxine's a loser. She's not done anything good for anyone. I don't know. That's a good question. We have to wait and see. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
Greenwall bought a coffee. Happy birthday, Kid Combo.
Thank you. Amazing.
Right on. Julie from Connecticut, Eric's wife. Biblical question.
What's the difference between a Christian and an atheist?
The difference between atheists and Christians is atheists are a lot nicer and more forgiving than Christians.
Amazing. I'll put my little 2 cents on Sunday. Thank you very much for responding.
And thank you for the side note. I will check it out, Julie. I think I did see it. Appreciate it. And gives a little side note because she bought Hake a coffee. And Lori bought a coffee. You know, Jesse, another way of looking at doing greater works than Christ, is that you're spreading truth on a greater scale than Jesus was able to when he walked the earth. You're in your natural state and pointing people back to the Father with truth around the world constantly, doing the same works as Christ, but more people can hear the truth today on a greater scale. Know what I mean?
Yeah, he didn't have an online YouTube thing. Thank you.
Rio.
Amazing. Thank you.
A very generous 10 coffees.
Thank you.
During the silent prayer morning, throughout the day, doing the silent prayer morning throughout the day and at night, several months now. Big changes. Thank you. Saw your post on X saying love and prayers for Dennis Prager. How does one pray for someone else? Hoop and holler? Serious question. Loving Punchie TV too.
By wishing them well. Really. Dennis is a good friend. He's been a friend for a long time. And I wish him well. It's been reported, and I don't know. I called his wife last night, and we're going to talk today. But I heard that Dennis fell, something like that, and then he got pneumonia. I guess while in the hospital or whatever. So I wish him well. That's my prayer. Let God's will be done. Thank you. That's how you pray, because we don't know what to pray for. But I do wish him well.
Jesse Lee, what do you think of antinatalism? Antinatalism.
I don't know what that is.
Against people being born.
What?
Against being born. Against giving birth to people. Against making babies.
What I think, I don't understand that question.
Oh, okay.
Do you?
I know a little bit about it. I know there's people who wish that they hadn't been born, and they're against more people being born.
So they're asking me how I feel about people being born?
Or giving birth. Yeah, they're against having children themselves.
What?
People who are against having children.
Oh, I feel nothing about it.
Nice.
If they're against having it, don't let them have it because they'll kill the children.
Indeed.
At least spiritually. No, if they don't want them, don't have them. Amazing. Thank you.
And shout out to the top contributors on the D-Live crew, Kid Combo 1.0, Games for Rec, Olaf something, Misty, and the rest of the supporters. And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Amazing. Thank you. Amazing. Nice. I appreciate it. Let me go quickly to Christina. Christine out of New Mexico. Christine, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey, Christine.
So I was calling to give a big thank you to you. I just want to give you a quick testimonial to my progress.
Okay.
I've talked to you before, telling you that I grew up a little bit different from the rest of my family.
Mm-hmm.
And as I got older, I started noticing, though I was trying to stay true to myself and truth, that people around me were getting more different. Like you said, I was kind of seeing the evil in people a lot, seeing how they would act to me. And I was confused for a while because I was like, I'm so respectful to everybody. And though I'm truthful and honest with everyone, I always do it in, I was very diplomatic about how I would speak. And just finding that it was getting harder to, no matter what you do, if you tell people the truth, they'll get mad no matter what, and they'll attack you. And it was starting to affect me after a while. Like how you've said before, when you're around evil for too long, it starts to corrupt you.
Yeah.
And I was telling my husband, like, I feel so different, especially after we had my son. It brought a lot out in people around me that I never saw before. Or maybe I was just blind to it.
Right.
And it was helping me see it. So I told my husband, I need to get away for a little bit, as in like getting, kind of secluding myself more at home, because I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I would go out with my family a lot. And I was like, I need to find something because I feel different. I don't feel the way I used to before a few years ago. Like something inside me, I felt off. And so he was like, okay. He was very supportive of that. And I was doing a lot of...
because of time bringing in.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So eventually I went through a lot of knowledge, and then I was asking God, like, well, I know all this, but I feel stuck with it. Like show me what I need to do.
Yeah.
And that's when they say the teachers start coming when you're ready to be a student. And though I was listening to a lot of people, I narrowed down people that I was willing to listen to actually put what I was learning in action. And you're one of 3 teachers that I've come upon. And I'm so grateful to you because you're actually telling us what we need to do, and you give it to us simply. And the big one was to forgive. Yeah. And I thought I had forgiven my parents before, but as I was listening to you talk to other callers where you were saying, well, did you actually say this? Did you actually say that? And I was like, I didn't actually say any of those things. And I was understanding why, after I thought I forgave my parents, that nothing seemed to have changed.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and put it into action. I told him, I'm going to go to my father first because he left when I was very young. So we're very distant. And I've tried to get with him personally so we can talk, but he likes being at a distance. Still, he has some fear in him, and I understand, and I don't blame him. And we live in a different town anyways. So I went ahead and reached out to him first. And when I called, we started talking. And so I'm not a religious person, but I just believe in getting rid of the middleman and just being with God directly. And my father is a Christian. He's a diehard Christian. And so when I called him, I was trying to just have polite conversation before I got straight to what I called him for. And he started questioning the way I was raising my son. And he's like, well, have you baptized him? Do you guys go to church? And I was like, well, no, Dad, but we do teach him in the way of God and of Christ. Like, we don't blind him from that because that's important. But no, we don't do that. And he started saying, as a parent, you should really be doing, like, trying to give his suggestions. And like you said, when people start talking, that little devil comes in you and starts telling you things like, oh, who is he to tell you how to raise your kid when he left you when you were a kid, you know?
Right.
And it started raising us into an argument. When I did bring it, I was like, you know what, Dad, respectfully, I just want to let you know, who are you to be telling me how to raise my kid? And oh my gosh, it started escalating us, and we started trying to talk over each other. And in the moment, I caught it. And I was like, this is what my dad went through with my mom. This is what my dad has gone through with my siblings.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's only acting this way because this is all he's used to being with her.
Yes.
And so in that moment, I just stopped, and I was like, you know what? It changes now. And so I took a deep breath when he was raising his voice at me, and I was like, you know what, Dad, just, I love you. I don't want to argue with you. And he was like, well, I don't want to argue with you either. And then he kept going, and I was like, I need to have him stop because he's going on a momentum. I was like, Dad, listen to me.
And
I was
because
like,
of time,
I didn't call for this.
the clock going to cut us off in a minute. And so it all worked out?
Yeah, I forgave him. I said everything that you had said, and he was so different after that conversation.
Right on.
And then after that, I realized, I need to call my mom too now. And you're right. With most people, it's harder to forgive your mom than your dad because your mom's the one who gives you all the trauma.
Yes.
And so it was harder.
But you did it.
Yeah, but with my mom, it was different, way different, because I told her that.
Are you
after
able to call me back
her,
tomorrow? Can you call me tomorrow? Because I want to hear the story, but this thing going to cut us off.
Okay, definitely. Yes, I'll call tomorrow.
Okay, don't forget. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Have a great day.
You too. I am so out of time, folks. I don't know what happened to the 3 hours, but the hate report is coming up at 9 right now. And then Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and Punchie TV at 2 p.m. Pacific time, and at 4 p.m. the American Anchor Baby. Get on that straight and narrow if you want, folks. I recommend you do, but if you don't want to, stay on that wide road that leads to destruction, all right? Do the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer so you can stay present. And forgive your mother and your father. Forgive your mama. Every human being, in order to return to the Father, you must forgive your mother. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Forgive. All right? And stay present. Thank you all for the super chats and everything, the donations. I'll be back tomorrow if the Lord is willing. I'm out of time. Gabriel, first time call out of North Carolina. Vanessa, Jaden, Fritz, Jamal, or Jamil. Is it Jamal or Jamil from Canada? Jamil. I am so out of time. But tomorrow is Country and Western Tuesday. Have a good day, folks. And again, happy Thanksgiving. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer. And I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it. And then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Check out my book, For Raised to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone. and you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND.